Hello everybody, thank you for clicking on my video. So today I'm going to be talking about a niche fragrance house that is pretty popular and mainstream, and it is Parfums de Marly, and the fragrance I have here is Pegasus. So this is not the Pegasus exclusive, this is just the first one that came out, and this fragrance came out in 2011. Parfums de Marly is a fragrance house that I'm not really keen on, to be honest with you. I feel like they do market their fragrances for men. There are fragrances for men, and then there are fragrances for women. Now, I feel like the ones for men are actually better than the ones for women. Delina is not my kind of vibe, like not at all. It's very, very floral. It's very like Marie Antoinette kind of fragrance, which is not. It's not my style. So, but this fragrance is quite popular. So I worked in a place once that did sell this, and this was a big seller at the time, and it was about 6 or 7 years ago. So, like people used to use it up, and then sometimes I'd pick up the tester, and the tester was usually empty. So I was unable to find a perfumer for this fragrance. Parfums de Marly don't really list a lot of perfumers, but this fragrance is 75 ml. It is eau de parfum formulation, and the price range is a niche price. So I found it off the Nordstrom website. For 75 milliliters is $280, and 125 milliliters is $430. Quite a bit. But there's also, you can find it on perfumeonline.ca and other discount perfume websites. Just be sure that what you're getting is the most valid thing. In my experience, when it came to websites like that, I find that getting the tester, I can almost guarantee that it's going to be authentic. Sometimes, in my case, I've heard of other people where they get fragrances from Russia that claim to be testers, and they're actually fake. I'm not saying that a lot of fragrances from Russia are fake, so just so you know that. Don't want to offend anybody. So the top notes on this are heliotrope, cumin, and bergamot, and the middle notes is bitter almond, lavender, and jasmine, and the base is vanilla, sandalwood, and amber. So this is the bottle here. It's pretty heavy, especially the lid, so you can hold it like this upright, but the lid is quite heavy. So the lid is a little bit hard to take off, but that's it here. It's got quite a bit of weight to it. And it says Parfums de Marly, and then it's got a little signature there at the top. Bottle looks really, really cool. I'm trying to not be in the video. I don't want to be. There you go. It's all mirrored. So I'm going to spray it on this blotter here and let you know what it smells like. I hate mirrored bottles. Anyway, so. Okay, so definitely smell projection. So this is pretty sweet from the beginning. I definitely smell the heliotrope and the bitter almond. So first spray, it smells a lot to me like hypnotic poison. It does, except it's not as like warm and spicy like hypnotic poison is, even though cumin is a pretty fragrant spice. Cumin in food, a lot of Mexican and Indian food that I adore has cumin in it, so some people are like put off by it, but I don't know why. Me, I was raised in a city where there's like lots of multicultural food, so anything that isn't like roast beef and potatoes, anything that's different from that, I'm going to eat it. So I definitely smell the almond, definitely. And jasmine is kind of peeking through too, so it's got some similar notes to hypnotic poisons, the bitter almond and the jasmine, and vanilla, of course, vanilla and sandalwood and amber. I definitely feel like this is definitely leaning more towards a unisex fragrance. So I'm going to spray this on my wrist here. And this fragrance belongs to my boyfriend. I was able to trade this for Diptyque fragrance, the one that I made a video for recently, Low, which I didn't care for, so I traded it for this one. So I sprayed it right here. So on my skin, I definitely smell the heliotrope, that purple flower, kind of that earthy, herbal kind of scent that heliotrope has. And definitely some cumin too. And the cumin is really sitting nicely on my skin. Like it kind of, I feel like it's a really great bonding ingredient for this fragrance. Bergamot I don't smell too much of. Definitely smell the bitter almond, the lavender. And the lavender and the cumin, in my opinion, are complementing each other really nicely. Jasmine, a little bit, but not too much. So if you are worried about that and you are a person who doesn't really care for too much florals, you won't have to worry about that. This fragrance is not very floral at all. I know in Fragrantica they described it as floral, but it's not that floral. Definitely vanilla and sandalwood as well. It's got that like wet, milky wood that's coming out as well. And amber, of course, is making it really warm. It's quite nice, actually. Like I said, I definitely prefer the stuff that's marketed for men than for women. And normally when it comes to fragrance houses, I generally gear towards the women's stuff more. Probably because I was raised as a cisgendered woman. So anyway, so I'm going to come back in a few hours and let you know how this develops on my skin. Hello, thanks for coming back. I am back to tell you my final thoughts on this fragrance. So I did spray it here about 4 hours ago. I'm going to give you a sniff, let you know what it's like. So yeah, at this point, it's still on my skin. I smell like a bitter almond, amaretto kind of scent to it with some like herby notes of lavender. Jasmine is coming out a little bit more, but it's complementing it. It's not like fecal in any way, and it's not like a fresh like white floral, not at all. And vanilla for sure. It is definitely sweet. So it is like not sugary sweet, not as sweet as Hypnotic Poison, but I feel like if Hypnotic Poison were to have a male counterpart, the male version, I would think that it would smell like this. That's just my opinion. But it is definitely, there isn't like vetiver or oak moss or anything like that. But there are some people who have said that this is described as a fougere, that's how you say it. Fougere fragrance. So, but it's fougere-like. So it smells like there would be oak moss in it, and some like woodsy notes. But there is no oak moss in it, but it smells like there's some sort of green, swampy note in it. So I definitely feel like this is definitely more unisex for sure, like I mentioned before. And the person that I actually traded this from was a woman, and she just didn't really like wearing it anymore. She kind of got more into Delina after Delina came out, so I don't know. I think it was her loss, but hey, it's my gain, right? So anyway, that concludes my review of Pegasus by Parfums de Marly. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel, you should definitely consider doing so, because I have so many fragrance reviews. I review like 1 or 2 fragrances per video. Try to keep it simple. And I try to be like a resource for information on fragrance, and try to give you like as much as a full depth review as I can. So anyway, stay safe wherever you are and have a great day. Bye.